Hi everyone, delonewolf here, and welcome to the final video for 2015. And since it is the week between Christmas and New Year, where things do tend to slow down just a little bit, both in game and out of game, I thought why not take this opportunity to have a look at what we can look forward to in EVE Online in 2016. Now, before I actually do that, I definitely want to take the opportunity to thank everyone here for watching the videos, for subscribing to the channel. Being able to finish the year with more than 6,000 subscribers and more than 2.2 million views is pretty damn awesome for me. And it is obviously something that helps motivate me to keep making videos, try and bring you guys interesting stuff, interesting content, and perhaps some entertaining content from time to time as well. It's not only that, honestly, I'm really happy to say that I still really enjoy playing games, playing EVE Online, making videos and working on the channel, which has always been my primary goal. It's still my focus and basically the one reason why I do this. It is to have fun, and this is obviously a hobby that I enjoy a lot, and it's a passion for me to play games, and EVE Online I think is still the greatest game in the world at the moment, and to cover all of that in videos, provide you guys with information and some of my thoughts about all of that. So I'm really thankful that so many of you actually follow me and provide me with all of that valuable feedback. Honestly, with 6,000 subscribers, sometimes I'm amazed, and there's always at least a dozen of you that know way more about whatever topic it is that I'm talking about, and then watching you guys correct me in the comments and provide me with all of your insight. It's not only fun, but it's actually pretty damn interesting and a good learning experience for me as well. I get a lot out of just making these videos, and that's thanks to you guys as well. So I'll also quickly take this opportunity to wish everybody a very happy new year, and I hope you all have an awesome 2016, both in character and out of character. I know that I'll be doing my best to just keep going, to make EVE Talk every week, to try and stay up to date on the games that I play and provide you guys with content that you will hopefully find interesting and entertaining. So yeah, here's to 2016. Let's hope we make it a good year again. Now, when it comes to EVE Online, of course, 2016, we already know that there are some things that we can look forward to, and if you want to stay up to date on that, CCP does try to keep a website up to date for this. If you go to the community website, you can go to the EVE Updates site. Unfortunately, it doesn't work too well in the in-game browser, but there is a tab for what they have planned for the winter, after the new year, and then in spring there is of course the Citadel expansion, which for me is something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I think the new structures, the Citadels, will actually be a big shock, a big impact to the game, to the economy, to the sandbox in general. It's going to give a lot of people, I think, something to work towards, something to work on, and I think it's going to have a few unexpected and unforeseen gameplay options and consequences that could make for some interesting and entertaining content, I think, for everyone. So honestly, I'm really positive about the new structure. I think the ideas are sound. I think they're really planning to make this expansion a massive impact on the game itself, which is the one thing that we do miss, I believe, from the monthly release cadence. And I totally look forward to that. I'm very positive about the Citadels. Of course, in the expansion, there's also another major aspect that CCP is working on, and that is the rebalancing of the capitals and the super capitals. I'm not really an active capital or super capital pilot myself, so I'm not the right guy to give you feedback on that. But if I look at the comments and the general vibe, I think people are just waiting and seeing what CCP actually comes out with. There was some oohs and ahs when you saw the new sickle doomsday weapon from Titans, but I think a lot of people already have so much time and effort invested in becoming a capital and super capital pilot. A lot of stuff has already been taken away from them because they were considered overpowered in the game. There's been a lot of nerfs to them, and so I think a lot of them are actually going to wait to get their hands on these actual changes on the test server, and that's when the discussion is actually going to get started, I think, on the capital and super capital changes. So while the impact for me is not going to be that big, I think for the game in general, and especially in nullsec, this could be pretty major, and I do hope that CCP is going to continue listening to feedback and try and make it so that these capitals and super capital ships will not become gimmicks, something that you don't actually use, that doesn't make a big difference, that they will actually find the right balance between a power that can shift and change the battlefield and something that's just completely overpowered because you can bring 100 super capitals and you become completely untouchable to any group smaller than you. But I think if there's one slight opportunity already that this could provide us early 2016, it is that CCP will want to have a lot of tests around these capital and super capital changes. So if you've never flown a Titan, I would say keep a close eye on the call for mass tests, especially once these changes are starting to be deployed on CC, because I do believe that at some point CCP is going to want a mass test with as many Titans as they can get, and I think that at that point they might just seed Titans on CC and provide people with skills needed. So if you're really new but you do want to get into a Titan, I think keeping an eye on what will happen on CC before the expansion could actually provide you with that opportunity. Now, before the expansion, there's also the winter release. I do look forward to a few things from that. First of all, there are all the happenings around the drifters, so it is looking like CCP is gonna continue with the drifter storyline, with everything that's happening both in wormhole space with their incursions and possibly some live events as well. So that sounds pretty good to me, and is definitely gonna be something that I'll keep an eye out for, and that could tie me over until the expansion. And then there is something that may not be that known. It is called Project Discovery. It was announced at FanFest, and I think CCP also made a video about that. This is actually CCP working with scientists to try and bring some sort of gamification of the analysis of like hundreds of thousands or even millions of pictures that are being taken by very advanced instruments at the moment. And the problem that scientists in real life have is that it's almost impossible to just write software to let computers do the analysis of these pictures and then classify them depending on what it is that they've actually just taken a picture of. And it turns out that it's still us people, humans, that are the most successful at quickly analyzing at a glance what these pictures are. And so CCP is working with these guys to bring a sort of, I think, a mini game that in the story of EVE Online is going to be part of the Sisters of EVE at first, that will basically have us do some sort of real science analysis of pictures, and then of course as part of the game there will be rewards for our efforts. I think it could be interesting, especially if CCP can make this a successful part of the game, a fun aspect of the game, and it can on top of that help science with a problem that they're having at the moment in the real world. If there's any community out there I think that could do it, it should really be the EVE Online community. So Project Discovery is also something that I'll keep an eye out for. After all of that, of course, we do have FanFest. FanFest is a highlight for me personally every year, although I've never gone and probably won't be able to go next year either. It is a fun week for me because CCP always comes out with interesting information and a roadmap for the future. It's a lot of fun just listening about everything that's coming to us in EVE Online, making new plans, forming new goals. And FanFest will also have the Amar Championships, you know, the finals for that, so we'll know who the new Emperor or Empress of the Amar Empire will be, and it's always just a lot of fun just to watch that on the stream. And so that is, of course, one thing that I'm looking forward to as well. The one question is, of course, after that. I personally, I'm a big fan of the monthly release system that CCP has been using for EVE Online. I think it's pretty successful. I think it has brought us a lot already that we would have had to wait for quite a while. If I would have to give you guys a few examples, well, let's return to Drone Bay here while I'm actually finished mining. First thing that comes to mind are all of the graphical updates. You get the new shield effects, the new armor effects, the new booster effects. A lot of the modules have been changed as well, and all of that happened in different releases. And let's be honest, if we were in the old expansion, 2 expansions a year cycle, it is very likely that we would have had to wait until the Citadel expansion to actually get these updates. On top of that, there's the rebalancing of ships. Everything is just smoother. CCP can continually work on improving the game, and yeah, I'm obviously a big fan of that. I think they've been doing a really good job of that. But the idea of coming out with maybe a yearly, maybe once every 2 years, a big expansion that's actually going to cause a big shift, a big change into the sandbox of EVE Online, I think is also a really good idea as well. And so I look forward to a successful Citadel. After that, I'm hoping that they can keep up with the monthly release of content, where if I'm not mistaken, they'll try and provide us with more of these structures that they have planned, like mining outposts, research outposts, those towers, those propaganda towers that they're talking about. All of that should then keep rolling out on a monthly basis. We should get continuous updates and improvements on that, which I like a lot. But when will they then announce the next expansion? That is, of course, one thing that we can't know beforehand. If I had to guess, then that next expansion will probably be the actual building of Stargates. When they come out with that, adding new space to EVE Online, I think would be the planned step after that. You never know what happens between now and then, but to me that sounds like a pretty good roadmap and a lot to look forward to in 2016 already. And if I had one wish, something that I would like to see next year that we've not had in a few years, honestly, it would be a major nullsec war, something that's gonna bring EVE Online just outside of the community once again. It's very hard to do at the moment, and I understand that nullsec is actually decently fractured already because of Fuzzysoft, and that there's actually wars going on at the moment. I do hear that there's a pretty major war between the Russians going on, where there is constant fighting and constant tug of war and things like that. But I just think that at the moment the eyes are set so much on the really big entities like the Imperium of the Goons, Pandemic Legion, maybe Tests. Well, I don't think that they're considered that big and powerful at the moment, but I think especially Goons and Pandemic Legion, what will they do? Will they finally spark a really big war, a galactic war in EVE Online once again? When is that going to happen? If that would happen in 2016, I think we could have a pretty awesome year. It could be a lot to ask for, but who knows with all the drama that we've seen there lately. Anyways, that's it for this video, guys. 2016 is right around the corner for me as I'm making the videos. Most of you guys are probably watching this one in 2016. I'm very hopeful for EVE Online. I've got my goals, and I'm looking forward to what CCP is going to bring us next year, and I'm also looking forward to what all the players are going to do in EVE Online next year. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.